Welcome back to Cheap Tuesdays, where we look at budget pedals that you can use with your guitar and sometimes with other devices to get the tone you are looking for. Now, if you tuned in last week, we had a look at the Sonicake Rude Mouse. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It is probably the best Rat pedal I've found in the budget range of kind of Rat clones. So today we're looking at another Sonicake pedal because they sent me three. We're actually also going to briefly look at the third one. We're going to get a little sneak peek of that, but a full review will be coming next week, hopefully. But yes, today we are looking at the Sonicake Shark, which is a British high gain distortion. And let me tell you, so far, me using it, like with the Rude Mouse, I love it. It's great. So, like before, it comes with a little card and a manual. So, we've got this little card, which is cool. Let's see if I can show you that on the GoPro. And another little card for the instruction manual, which I said last week is probably the best thing you could do. It is actually awesome. So, you can probably see it. Yeah, I don't know if you can read it in the GoPro, but yeah, way better than having those foldable shitty paper manuals that break. This is a card, it's durable, it tells you everything. So let's talk about the features while I've got the actual manual in my hands. We have a gain control, as you expect. We have a level control, and we have a tone control. It's the three controls. They operate as you expect. And then we have three different modes, which are normal, modern, and classic. And now they say, this is the descriptions, normal is distortion for all kind of rock, modern is aggressive sound, and classic is warm, smooth sound. Now, I've played this a little bit, and we'll go through the switch. It's a lot more subtle than that. The way I can hear it is like a slight change in character, a slight EQ change, and in, I think, the modern, there's a little bit more headroom, a little bit more volume. They all are great sounds, but it is kind of subtle, but that's kind of what you want. I mean, sometimes it's great to have a switch that does a completely different thing. For this, it's just another way of tailoring your sound. And yes, one sounds, I guess, one more modern, one's got a little bit more mid-range going on, one's a little bit more subdued, I think. Like I said, we will go through it, but it is definitely a switch worth having on there. Some are so subtle, don't do anything, but it isn't going to completely change the EQ or anything. I believe it's probably something to do with the clipping section. So I'm using the J&D again to start off with. We're doing high gain British rock. This is the kind of guitar we need. It's got a custom 5 in the bridge. I think I said custom 14. It's a SH14 custom 5. I said custom 14 last week, but yeah, SH14 custom 5. Then we might switch to the Jaguar, actually. I don't pull my Jag out a lot for high gain videos because it isn't the strength. Jaguar's got really weak single coil pickups. But I thought, let's see it in a completely different atmosphere, see what it can do with that. And yes, we are going to boost it later on because for me, if you're using high gain distortion, I love having an overdrive in front of it to kind of control the low end and the mids, do something in the mids. So we're going to try the other Sonicake pedal, which is the Blue Screamer, review coming soon. But let's get into tones. Let's start with the 12 o'clock switch in the middle position. I think that's a good way to start looking at the controls and what's going on. So it does do what I'd say it's meant to. It's high gain British. Now it isn't your plexi cranked and it isn't your hot rodded plexi kind of 80s sound. To me it is very much like the 90s high gain British sound, which is modded JCM 800s, JCM 900s, things that are based on the Marshall, often boosted often driven in a certain way. It's a lot more high gain than, say, a stock JCM 800. Much more high gain than that. Reminds me of a lot of, yeah, I guess 90s metal and stuff. I think that's the vibe. Or hard rock. It's kind of got this thick, it's mid-heavy. It doesn't have too much bass end like, say, a rectifier does, but it is aggressive. It's aggressive in the high mids. So let's have a look at the gain control. Let's bring it all the way down. Maybe we should hear the clean so you can hear what's actually clean. So it's not really adding any gain there. There is a little bit of gain coming from the AC50 because of the hotter pickups in here. But I mean, it's basically clean. But in this low gain setting, just kind of smooth. We turn it up here. I'm guessing this is probably, I guess the best you could get of crunch out of this pedal. Slightly plexi-ish, a little bit to me sounds more like maybe a single channel on a JCM 900. I haven't got that much experience with the 2-channel JCM 900s, but it's kind of that second channel kind of vibe. Second, I mean like clean channel. But where it starts to get real juicy is about here. Hear it really thicken up there and start to get probably too gainy. Okay, let's continue with the gain control. Let's go on full after this. Now it starts to get muddy there. You probably shouldn't have it on higher gain, like all the gain up with humbuckers like this. It's just going to get too muddy. So I reckon about this range is really where the pedal's nice. Back to clean. So it does have a little bit of this kind of low passy vibe. It does take off some of the high end and leave a lot in the mids. It's very mid focused, which is really, I guess, part of that British thing. It doesn't have as much kind of screechy high end as a Plexi or a JCM 800 does. To me, it's a bit more grindy and fat. But let's have a look at the tone control while we're talking about it. Let's go all the way down. So that's going to calm down a lot of those highs if you're using a really bright amp. Again, the AC30, AC50, while people think of the Voxus as being bright, it doesn't have the same kind of mid-scoop and high end of, say, a Fender. So tone control is going to probably match your amp. So, plenty of harmonics, plenty of kind of fatness. That tone control does really what it says. It doesn't really sound bad on either end. It's a little bit dark on the left, it's a little bit bright on the right. Doesn't really thin out. I found some tone controls thin out a little too much, get a little too spiky. So let's listen to the 3 different modes. I'm going to keep the gain and tone control here in these positions, so you can hear the difference. Switch to normal. A little bit more compressed, a little bit quieter. Back to modern. And then to classic. So the way I kind of see them is normal is a little bit more subdued and compressed. Modern is a little bit more open and kind of aggressive, and classic has this kind of like mid thing going on, which is really nice, especially for like leads. Back to modern. I think that would cut through nicely in the mix, whereas modern's probably a little bit better for rhythm and riffing. Let's kind of try and play some kind of riffy stuff. I'm in drop D, so let's do this again. Modern. Normal. Back to classic. Just a lot more saturated in the classic mode, and a little less kind of thumpy. The modern mode, like I said, is probably better for riffing. Let's just do definitely on the palm mutes, the modern works better. I think if you want to go some more old school rock, let's go normal. I think we turn the tone up a bit. Let's switch to the single coil in the neck. Maybe classic for a bit more. Cool, kind of cool there. Got this, yeah, nice kind of grit to it, nice and complex. Let's have a look about boosting it. So we're gonna go back to modern. let's put the gain, I think, about there. We don't want too much gain, and then we're going to let the Sonicake Blue Screamer do the work. So here's clean again. Let's see what we set up the Blue Screamer to do. It's a bit of a boost. Just changes the EQ. A little bit more harmonics. So we're really trying to clean up that low end and just give it a little bit more kind of fitted in the mix. When you're playing with a bass player and stuff, that's what kind of works to tighten up that low end a bit. And, you know, I like using Tube Screamer style circuits like mid-hump, low bass, overdrives in front of anything. I mean, most amps still put it in front on the gain channel because it just does a thing. And what you can do sometimes is have one guitar with the actual gain channel and the other boosted, similar gain, but like just a little different kind of structure going on there. And so it is cool to be able to use a pedal and it still kind of works for that. And Shark kind of takes it pretty well. I think it allows it to be enhanced. Start on the vintage mode. Classic mode. So far the Shark is sounding great. I love it. Now it can sound a little bit close off. There's a little bit of a pedal vibe to it, but compared to most other drive pedals of this high gain nature, they tend to sound either boxy or harsh and two-dimensional. And this kind of sounds thick and amp-like. That high gain, it doesn't necessarily have the dynamic range of an amp. It definitely sounds high gain, but for how much this pedal cost, like, I'd record that tone easy. I'd completely be happy with recording that right now and being like riffing on it, and then maybe just adding a little bit of EQ or changing the cabinet or something. So let's switch to the Jaguar, because this is going to be a completely different guitar, and see how it handles it. Okay, so now we have my Squier Jag with Curtis Novak pickups. It is a way different beast, a lot thinner, a lot brighter, a lot less volume. Is it clean? So what I want to try and do is see if we can get that kind of more alternative aggressive, so. That was really bad. That tone in a bit more level. That's thick, that's fat. I mean, it doesn't sound as good as the humbuckers. It is not going to, well, I mean, good is subjective, obviously, but that is getting me into a kind of thick enough territory for this kind of guitar, you know. That's a clean. Maybe a bit more bite. Maybe with a little bit of the Blue Screamer to fatten it up. Give it a bit more gain. Let's see what we got. Okay, I probably was pushing a little bit too much level in there, but yeah, I can use it with this guitar. A lot of gain pedals just don't really work, especially amp-like ones. I tend to use like rats and muffs with my single coils or overdrives because they seem to work, whereas your amp in a box British pedals just kind of sound a bit nasty with the low output and kind of bright jangly thing. But this seems to work fine, especially with the Blue Screamer in front of it. Definitely has a range of tones. So thanks for watching. I'm probably going to leave it there. I hope you have got enough out of this to kind of decide if you like the Shark. Again, ridiculously cheap. I don't know, like $40 Australian, $42 Australian maybe. I can't remember. Go check out the website. I think for Americans, you can get it on Amazon as well. That's all in the Sonicake website. I think they've got different ways to pay through their store or Amazon. They also have an eBay store in Australia. I think it's just Sonicake_AU. I think that's their eBay store as well, if that's easier. But they sent this to me fine in Australia, so I think you can get them here too pretty easily. Go check it out and tune in for the Blue Screamer next week. And again, if you haven't seen the Rude Mouse or the Crybot, go check those videos out. Other pretty cool pedals, but definitely the drives from Sonicake are very, very impressive. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.